and welcome to the FMSL Podcast, episode 10. I am Cameron, and I've got my co-host Chrissy somewhere here. Chrissy, how are you doing?
Hello, Cameron. Back again, brother.
Yes, we are, and we've got a very special guest today. We have got Mark from Real Vallecano. Mark, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. It's Friday.
It's podcast time.
Exactly.
Podcast day. So, Mark, how is your season going? Because I've not been paying much attention, I'm going to be totally honest. But tell me how it's going.
I thought it was going to go well, but then we had an update to the match engine or everything else apart from the match engine, apparently, and my tactic went to mud. So the season has been going bang average. I've got 1 win out of 10 games. I've drawn 5 games and I've lost 4. So I'm sitting second bottom. So I take from that what you will.
Yeah, I think it's a hard division, the Premier League. Like we've spoke about this a lot on the podcast. I think you've got Rashmat, James Bond. You've got yourself. You've got Mohammed. You've got the unspoken man, and it's a tough league, and it's clear to see because at the moment, Niall was top of the league last year, finished top, won the league, and now he's down the bottom, very much struggling. So, is it one of those things? Obviously, you jumped up last year, didn't you? You come up in the championship. So, how has that change been?
So I don't think that in terms of the actual difficulty of the games, I don't think there's been that much in it. First week, I'm just having a look at my results so far. So first week, I drew 1 and I lost 1-0. So I lost by a goal. Following week, I drew 2-2 and 2-2 with the people's champion, Mohammed. And in both those games, he got equaliser in like the 85 plus minute. And then I beat Salernitana 3-1 and drew 2-2. And then this week, he who shall not be named, I drew 3-3 and lost 2-0. And then lost 1-0 and 3-2 to Werder Bremen. So barring one result, I've lost my games by a goal, and then obviously I've drawn 5. So I wouldn't say I'm getting my ass handed to me, but by the same token, we're not taking our chances when they come. Yeah. So
they're definitely close scores.
Yeah, but I pointed that out. I think it was the end of last game week that in the Premier League, I think there's been was it something like 16 or 17 draws already. And then the other 3 leagues combined were 19 draws. So that just shows you how very close the Premier League is this year.
You can see the standard of football and like you say, the talented managers that are in that league. There's a lot to play for. And like you're saying, you're coming in close. Like you said, you're not getting your ass handed to you. I mean, you are scoring goals, and a couple of games you've been quite close. I mean, if you look at the rest of the season, what's your we're looking at now.
So
you've got Monza next week and AZ Ratchmat. So 2 tough opponents, but you can get something out of them. Do you think?
Well, again, so after my last games of this week, which I played on the Tuesday, I went into full rage mode and binned all my tactics. So I'm now starting from scratch this weekend. Yeah, so starting from scratch because I emptied the recycle bin as well to make sure that I didn't just pull them back out again. So I've not got a choice but to restart. And I've said it in the chats as well that I'm determined to play a back 3 or back 5, as some people like to say. So I'm sticking with that, and I'm going to try and get something that works.
Yeah, I think in terms of tactics, especially this week for myself as well, it's been tough to find something that works, and I'm determined in the window to change to 3, like a 3-4 3-4-2-1 almost, like something along them lines. What I used to play last year for people that know, because I just can't seem to get anything working. And something that gives you width, but also strength down the middle, kind of seems to be working this year. I've found it a difficulty anyway in terms of the trying to get a tactic working. It's been so difficult. You look at Rashmat and Chrissy yourself actually making it look very easy. Yeah, making it look very easy to have a strong side. But Mark, so how did your window go then? Obviously, it has been a few weeks now, so I think people will forgive me if you have forgot a little bit about that. But how did the window go for you? Because I found it a struggle as always. But how did you find
it? I enjoyed it, to be fair. I think this is the first time since I've been here, and I joined back in FM 22 partway through. I took over Granada.
Yes. Oh, the Haaland transfer.
Yeah. But this last window, this is the first time I've not done any of the drafts. I just avoided the drafts and did full internals. So I found it beneficial. I'd already kind of identified the targets or the positions that I wanted to get, and was able to get, for the most part, most of the players that I wanted to go and get. So
big business there as well. I'm just looking at your transfers. I mean, big name that stands out there for me is probably Victor Boniface or Nicolas Gonzalez. I mean, you paid us 70 mil, 60 up front and 10 for Gonzalez. Yep. And Boniface was 60 and 25 up front. So good deals, in my opinion.
Yeah, Boniface has missed a few guilty chances, but he's still got me a good few goals. And as with everyone, I'm sure we all like the big meta striker. And he fulfills that. I also managed to get Barbosa from Chris by giving him an aging Hyun-Min Son, and he also handed me 15 million for that deal as well. So I was quite happy with that. I'm an ageist person, so I don't like to have although I say that I've got David Alaba, and he just seems to just get better and better. So long may that continue.
Yeah. I was saying, you were saying about going for the 3 at the back, or the 5 at the back, if you would say. And I'm looking at your squad now, mate, and I don't know whether you meant for that to happen, but I really think it's something that you could pull off. I mean, you've got Carly Umakapana, I can't say his name, Alaba. So there's 3. There you go. Thank you, sir. So there's your 3 centre-half, say. And then you've got Livramento, Grimaldo, Gillette, who I think Cam had last season.
Yeah, I had him, and he's very decent.
Melvin Bard as well. So, and I'm pretty sure Camavinga could even slot in.
He can play. He can play sort of left back. Yeah. So, the aim is always to have that's my starting 3 is Okoli, Upamecano, and Alaba. I'm just playing about to see if I can get a libero in there somehow. So I think Upamecano is going to become a libero in any new tactic that I create, and see if I can get that working, see if that causes any havoc. And then I'm obsessed with Bayer Leverkusen just now, which is why I bought Boniface, and obviously I've got Grimaldo as well. I think he's just an absolute beast.
He is a beast.
And then obviously, like you say, I've got Yeller and Bard are able replacements because of playing a back 3 or 5, however you want to call it. The wing backs do a lot of legwork, so having able-bodied replacements for those 2, for Livramento and Grimaldo, was always the aim. So I managed to pick them up fairly cheap.
You got to steal on Jallet as well, man. Because I was asking Steve, just come on. Like, I did have an agreement with Gerben, and then obviously
is there anyone? Sorry, is there anyone you didn't have an agreement with?
No. This was from like the previous window.
Gotcha.
Just to say, like, because he's a young player and he wasn't going to get better, and he had 3 on. Can we take this camera off me, please? It's very off.
Got you now.
Not really, because Gerben left like a week after the previous window or something. Anyway, so but he'd said, you can just have him for have him on loan and what have you. And I'm so good because I said to Steve, "Oh, come on, just let us." It was I think it was day 2 or day 3. I was like, "Steve, come on, just let us just have him." So I'm not searching. And then he was like, "Oh no, I've sold him," and I'm like, "You what?" And that was that. I'm gutted because he's a great player, but. As well, which player? Now it's went up my head. I've just looked. Barbosa. You were the man who got Barbosa, and he is a steal. He was, I think, 50 million, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, plus on.
There
you go.
No, so I got 15 million plus Barbosa for Son. Yeah,
that's the one.
I was going to say because he even just as his own, he was 50 million, and I was 2-0. I think I was 2-0 in front of Niall. Whether because I was out for the day and I was like, I don't know whether I should just take Kane in the draft or buy Barbosa and keep the rest of the money. And I wish I had now because Barbosa is very decent, and I'm kind of good because I now know I cannot afford him. So it's great news for me. So what are you looking to do next season? Then are you looking to just improve on that 5 at the back kind of system, or are you looking to?
I think the defense is set. I think. What I did the last window was ensure that I had enough variety in the front line. Because obviously I got Jesper Karlsson, who's kind of an unsung player. Just have his versatility, and he's his physicals are really good in terms of being able to quick off the mark. He's got good agility and things like that. So, and he can play at either wing. And good at crossing, so it gives me the opportunity to, if I need to mix it up a bit. But I think I've kind of left myself. Maybe I think I'm one short in midfield, like a proper holding midfielder, so that Camavinga can do his normal roaming forward. Because I end up putting Camavinga. That's maybe where I'm going wrong to a degree. Is I keep putting Camavinga in a DM role, hoping that he'll sit. But he's got a trait of gets forward whenever possible. So the likelihood of him sitting...
He's gone.
Exactly. So any
whole position, I don't think so.
Him, exactly. We'll have him bombing forward as more of a box-to-box sort of player. That's where I'm going next.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely, even though I think most people, when they look at Camavinga, they do think he's a defensive DM, so you automatically think defensive, but he's not. He can do it all. He can do it all. So, Mark, swiftly move on about how you come to join FMSL. How did you when you did?
Yeah.
What was the process of you getting in? And then after that, we can talk about how you got into the admin team on FMSL.
So it was obviously an FM22 towards the tail end. I was hosting my own draft tournament in Football Manager, and Craig Sumner, one of the current admin team, was taking part in my drafts, and obviously he'd messaged me saying I'm part of this league where we use versus mode to play our games, and obviously we do. I think we've got a whole. At that point, they had the website, so it was sounded intriguing. So I says, yeah, get me added to the list or whatever. So then I had Mr. Hodgson in my DMs asking if I wanted to join, and there was 2 teams available. One being Granada, the other being who cares, because I had Haaland in the Granada team. So I quickly took that opportunity. And then, I've not looked back. So obviously just off to my right, I do have each of the strips of the teams that I've managed in the FMSL framed on my wall. So I've got Granada, Zenit, and obviously for this one, Rayo Vallecano. So I'm here for the long haul. I want to get the wall completely filled.
Yeah, you got it now. Well, like you said before, when you first joined and we had the website, and I don't know if people know, but they won't know, so to speak. But we've evolved so much through that, and a lot of that is down to you, yourself, and Kev, and the development of the spreadsheet. Now, obviously, as an admin team, we've got to take stats and things like that. So, quickly, can you sort of describe about the spreadsheet to the people, Mark?
It's colourful.
This one.
It's
It is very colourful.
I mean, Kev Heenan, who was on last week's pod, he did most of the groundwork, to be fair. All I've done is I've kind of built on that, tried to automate as much as we can to make life a bit easier for everyone. Like all the budgets and things like that, that's done more real time. And then also again with like the league updates. So as soon as the guys obviously update their the results, they get a real time table update, just to make life a bit easier for everyone. And then obviously again for like the team of the season and team of the week, all that kind of feeds into different elements, which then obviously assigns the prize money, etc. So yeah, all I've done is I've built on the good groundwork that Kev did.
Yeah,
you're a very honest, humble man there. Like, to be fair, like I've got to say the sheet, for those who don't know, it's a minefield of information, and if you don't know what you're looking for, chances are you're probably not going to find it. But it's so great that you can jump on and you can see exactly, like with a budget sheet, it's great. Even like just being able to go on there and knowing how much somebody's got to spend, and you can go, oh, well, I can push my price up 5 million now, or I can, oh, well, he's not got enough for him, so I can, oh, can I get a player unless, you know what I mean? Like seeing that in real time, where it's just having to guess in the, like, you know, the really early iterations, well, before you came as well, was it's great, because sometimes you'd spend the money you didn't have, and then you go, oh dear, there's nothing to spend. And you have to cancel deals, and then Alan goes on to win the Premier League. But never mind, we'll move on from that one. So, how did how has your role changed now that, like, you know, Jake, you know, he stopped being in charge of the league recently, and obviously that admin team have took over is one entity. So, how has your role changed from when Jake was there and he had all of you like structured down? How has it changed now as a team?
Just exactly that. We are a team. I mean, there's no leader. We all, any decisions that get made are getting made as a group. So we'll always just go with a vote, and we'll just obviously put a poll within the chat that we've got on Messenger, and then obviously everyone has their say. And we'll make the vote after that. So it makes it fairly straightforward from that point of view. Obviously, the different aspects that Jake sort of owned himself have kind of been divvied up a bit more. So for the most part, now that Kev Heenan's back in, he'll probably help me more with like getting the deals confirmed as almost real time, just to keep everyone's budgets as fresh as they can during the window. In terms of forwarding the database to make sure that that's all tickety-boo, that's myself. And obviously the new feature that we've added in, which is allowing managers to set like a starting 11 and also import a tactic if they want, or at least a base formation. What that can allow people to do, and I can't stress this enough, is actually help your players develop or retrain them in a certain position. So, for example, if I wanted to, I could use Baumgartner as a DM because I want to develop him as a DM. By this time next window, he will be developed as a DM. So going into the following season, I'll have, oh, that's me already got my new DM sorted. So you've got that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm saying that is because not everyone's come back to me with if they're wanting to do it or not, even though they've said that they're going to do it through the registration form. So that's more just when this goes out, this is the final chance, because the database is going to start getting forwarded, because it is a hefty bit of time that it takes now to do it. So
get your teams in.
That's
people.
Yeah,
exactly.
When is that deadline concerning this podcast? Is going out on Monday.
It was last Friday.
Last Friday. When is the new deadline?
The new deadline will be the new deadline will be next Friday at the very latest, because obviously I want to get as soon as possible.
I totally agree with how you've done it. I mean, I sent you my team, and at the time I was playing Victor Roque on the left wing. Now, obviously, as you know, deals happen in the window, things change, ideas move around, and now I've got Victor Roque playing up front. And in my head, I want to get him back up front for next window, because he's scoring goals. But I'm like, it's my own fault for putting him left wing. So it clearly does work, because now his bright green circle is on the left wing.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So it obviously does work, and like people who stress it enough. Like I put Coquette up front. He progressed all right, not as much as I wanted to, but I think I was expecting a little too much in the younger players, where the slightly older players will develop more because they're a bit more established.
Yeah. Yep. So as well, I've got to say, like, I think it's a great new addition, especially with some of the youngsters I've got. Obviously, I've got a very young goalkeeper. I've got Lewis Miley, who I've just signed, who I'm hoping is progressed is that number 10 that I'm going to need him to be. And that's it in terms of young players. But I'm hoping that, they can come on and progress, because it is damaging my team having no young players, which is my own fault. But I think it's a great new addition, and it might actually increase the chances of people signing young players and developing them, especially early on.
I think you've got to be careful as well, though, because like I signed Chris Rigg in the transfer window for 110k, so it was a steal. He's got a high PA. He looks quite good. He's young, but if I play him in my team at DM, what would happen to Andre? And he's nearly at full potential. So it's a very hard thing to decide and determine how you want to play it. Do you know what I mean? Do you take the gamble for the sell, or do you just let him sit and develop your starting 11 to be the best team they can be?
Yeah, but even then, like, we're going a bit off topic, but I will bring it back around, I promise. So if you think about it, you were saying about Chris Rigg, he's an easy 30 million, probably wide back. Come probably the start of next window.
Like I said before, if he doesn't develop as he will, he can just sit in the under 23s for a couple of seasons, unless someone wants him. He's not hurting no one.
I will not want him.
No, I know you won't.
I will not want him.
I bought him in spite. I bought him just to spite you. Right, before we get into an argument.
I'm saying Carmen holding me there.
Oh, wait, lads. Should we do a little quiz, Cam? Or Mark,
I think we should.
Would you like to take part in our 60 seconds quick fire quiz?
No. Sorry, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, you are. You've got no choice. Right, Cameron. I don't know how we're going to do on our flashy new pod, but you still.
Oh well, you see, the flashy new pod is very, very flashy, and it actually has a timer in the top left corner.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I thought if you get your phone out and time it.
Oh, we're not doing this again, are we?
Yeah, get it out, because it's part of the thing, mate. It's what people want to see. They want to see your phone.
Everybody wants to see my stopwatch. Nobody wants to see the phone. I can assure you. Right, we are ready when. We are ready when you are.
Ready? Are you ready, Mark?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Right. Advance forward or complete forward?
Complete forward.
Work ball into the box or hit early crosses?
Work ball into the box.
Oh, you going high press or you going mid block?
High press.
Oh, inside forward or inverted winger?
Inside forward.
Are you going internal or external? Oh.
External.
Oh, good. Right. Okay. Extended highlights or key highlights?
Extended highlights.
Get back to positions now. Fullback or wing back?
Wing back.
Ooh. Segundo volante or regista?
Segundo volante.
Oh. FMSL Cup or Heenan Cup?
FMSL Cup.
Player attributes or player stats? I know you like this one.
Attributes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come
There's
on.
only one answer for that one.
There is only one answer. I had to slip it in at the
there's
end.
gonna be one. There's gonna be one. There's gonna be one, and it's gonna
Yeah,
set
I
up a
know.
whole chain reaction.
And they will be getting kicked out the league. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
I'm not. No, they will. Yeah.
Oh man, but no, it's
Brilliant.
Oh, I love this. So, Mark, what is your favorite thing about FMSL?
On the spot or what?
There's so many to pick from. I'm just trying to pick
So
one. That's what it is.
Well, there's one right here, you see. So.
Oh no, that's not one of
You can block.
Just the fact that you can get in as involved or uninvolved as you wish to be. So obviously, there's times when your life might be a bit busier, so you don't have to be as involved as long as you get your games arranged, or on the odd occasion when you're out the country, for example. Like those of us that are going to the Euros to watch Scotland win the Euros. So I won't be here, so someone will have to obviously play for me. But you can have these wee gaps, but you're not really missing out. And because the spreadsheets are there, you can easily keep up to date with how things are going. Or you can get completely involved and engrossed in it. And there's, as Cam said, it's like the spreadsheet's a mammoth place where you can get lost in stats, etc. So you can get being as involved or uninvolved as you wish.
Lovely. That is true. So true.
Yeah, there is some people. Yeah, there's people in the league who you don't see for 6 weeks or 7 weeks, and then all of a sudden transfer window, they'll pop out for a few hours and then back in their hole. It's great. And then you got us who constantly sitting bickering and arguing all the time over everything and anything, and it is the best part about it.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. Mark, who is your favourite player in FMSL history? So it can be anyone you've owned in the last iterations of FM, or can be the current team. Who would you pick? I know
So
it's
a player from Granada, Zenit, or Real Vallecano.
Ryan Gold.
Ryan Gold. What current Vallecano player? Ryan Gold. Obviously.
Yep.
Obviously.
The man's
I knew that.
Holland,
I've got it written down.
Nah, he's fine.
Because
gone, mate.
Simply because he's Scottish and he used to play for Dundee United, which is obviously my team, and he's the mini Messi. So
what a way to end a pod.
I've got to say, mate, for someone who's had Haaland, that was very disrespectful.
I didn't even have him. I didn't even have him for a season. So I joined. So quickly jumping back to that, when I joined, I had Haaland in the team, but it was the season had just finished, and the only time I used him was in the divisional cups, and then in the Super Cup, and then I sold him in that transfer window. So I never actually had him for a full season.
That was a statement. He come in, went, Haaland, get out, mate. Get out of Dodge. Who did you get? It was Harvey Elliott, I remember.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott, Leon Goretzka, Reguilon at left back, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
But that meant that I had money left over to then go, and I went and bought Isaac instead. So I got those three players, plus then I think it was 80 or 90 million on Isaac. So I got 4 players for 90 million.
Absolute scenes. And that's quite weird how inflation not only works in real life, but it also works in the FMSL. Because now Haaland would not go for that. He would go for a lot more.
Hell of a lot.
Would he though?
Nah, probably not. It's always what everyone's
I don't know.
I've
tried.
Well, I'll be trying.
I'm trying all that.
Race for Haaland, episode 12.
Oh God! Don't say that. Don't say that. I can't imagine.
I've got him thinking now, innit?
Yeah, you have. I don't think it'll happen though. I think Courtney is very happy with his strike force of Bowen, Tony, and Haaland. It's like the weirdest. It's like if Haaland had have chose to represent England instead of Norway, what could have been it? What could have been? But I want to thank you, Mark, for coming on. It has been a pleasure to have you on. I know you're in the middle of Kev Sandwich. Is next week we do have Kev Hodgson joining us, don't we? So I want to thank you very much for coming on, Mark.
No worries.
Cheers, Mark. Always a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, so this unfortunately does round off our brand spanking new look and everything FMSL podcast. We've been working really hard behind the scenes to try and make this a bit more fun and a bit more entertaining for you, and to be able to have on the screen all the time. And we've been working hard, and I will give a special shout out to Niall, who's helping with behind the scenes with all of this, and this probably wouldn't actually be possible. He's not behind you, don't worry.
Oh, what I was going to say.
Just the bananas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Niall has been working really hard behind the scenes, helping get all this in place, and I do just want to say a quick thank you to him as well. And also a thank you to you all behind, watching this video. We have actually reached today 529 subscribers, and for us as a group, that is huge. We only started this a few weeks ago. We actually couldn't imagine anything like this. We thought we'd probably get half of the league watching and a few external people. So to have, this kind of audience is absolutely mental. So please do hit like, please subscribe, comment anything you want to know. We'll always, everybody from the leagues in the comments to, answer any questions. We really want to boost this. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers by maybe the end of the year, which I know is a tall order, but who knows what can happen.
Yeah, Cam did say if we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, he'll release Jude. We bap him.
No, never said that. You've got no proof. But no, thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. Cheers, Cam.
But no, I just want to say thank you again to everybody. This has been episode 10 of the FMSL podcast, and we will see you somewhere down the road.
Cheers, lad.